Hello, welcome. My name is Quiet Witch Gaming, and today I will be ranking the Dragon Age companions. All of them, from all three games and DLCs, so long as that character had a very decent amount of screen time. I will be ranking these characters based solely off my personal feelings towards them, which ones I feel most sentimental towards. I'm sure my list will be different from most everyone else's, so please be kind. This is all in good fun. I won't be going into too much detail, so don't take this too seriously. Let's get into it. Starting with a few characters I actually dislike. At the very bottom of the list, number 35, we have Loghain. Why? Well, because he's a dishonest, disloyal, wet blanket of a tyrant. He's not all bad, but he makes me the most angry, so he gets the lowest rank.
The retreat.
But what about the king? Should we not...
Do as I command.
Number 34, Oghren. I'm sorry, but he's just way too obnoxious for me. When I saw him in Awakening for the first time, I thought, really? Why him of all the characters? Anyways, number 33 is Sebastian. I'm definitely biased on this one due to personal reasons, but the constantly talking about religion is such a huge turnoff for me, and it makes him an annoying character. 32 is Hawke's brother, Carver. He's just an ass. I get he's tired of being in Hawke's shadow, but that's not an excuse for his shit behavior, like blaming Hawke for Bethany's death, and his mother's death as well if he becomes a Templar. Seriously, what the fuck? And here is where we get into characters that I don't particularly love or hate. Many of them are just kinda there. At number 31, Sigrun. I honestly had to watch videos on YouTube to remember who this was. If you don't remember Sigrun, she was a companion in Dragon Age Origins Awakening. She just doesn't have much of a personality, at least certainly not enough to stick out for me. 30, Nathaniel Howe. Another Awakening character that just really didn't stand out much. I liked him well enough, but that's about it. I know I'm gonna get some hate for this, but number 29 is the Mabari from Origins, who I often name Doggo or Barkspawn. I myself am not a dog person, but there definitely were some pretty funny dialogues and cutscenes around this character. At number 28, we have Talus. She is a companion in the Dragon Age 2 DLC Mark of the Assassin. I like her personality, but she can be hypocritical, and she supports the Qun. Ugh. Number 27, Aveline. I really, really wish I could rank her higher because she's awesome, except for the constant slut-shaming she does to Isabella. It's pretty immature, and a huge turnoff for me. She would have been easily in the top 10 if she weren't like that. 26. Vallana, the bitch witch. I'm sure a lot of people will be surprised that she's even ranked this high, but honestly, I can appreciate a snarky bitch. And I do feel for her. Humans have been pretty awful to the elves, so I understand the attitude. Number 25 is Blackwall. He's a great guy, but for me, he's sort of just there. He does have an interesting backstory, and romancing him makes things even more intriguing. I also really respect his admiration for the Grey Wardens and his desire to help others. Number 24, Justice. Who doesn't like some good old Justice? Yeah, okay, he turns into Vengeance in DA2, but I think overall that makes him more interesting. Also, not gonna lie, he was a bit creepy in Awakening. 23, next up we have Bethany. Another great person, but I just don't really have any sentimental value towards her. One way I determined how much I like a character is by how excited I would be to see them in Dreadwolf. I know Bethany can die in the game depending on what class you choose, but theoretically, and for the sake of the argument, there are way more interesting characters I'd rather see again. Here is where I start to genuinely really like the characters. And this is a bit controversial, but at 22, we have Sten. Yes, he's also a Qunari, but at least he's not a hypocrite. His short, blunt, to-the-point remarks are honestly pretty hilarious. While I hardcore disagree with him on many or most things, I still can't help but appreciate his stoicism and the fact that he does secretly have a soft side. 21. Shaper Valta. She's brave, intelligent, and generally seems like a nice person. I admire her determination and thirst for knowledge. 20. Vivienne. A lot of people strongly dislike her, and while sort of like Sten, I don't entirely agree with her on certain topics, You gotta admit that she's a boss bitch. I typically respect characters with a strong personality. Next, we've got Josephine at number 19. I don't think there's anything to dislike about her. She's like a Disney princess diplomat, minus any of the bad that goes with being in politics. She's actually a good, caring person. 18. Death to All Pigeons. Shale is absolutely hilarious, probably the funniest out of everyone, and is brutally honest. What's not to love? 17. Fenris, our first broody elf boyfriend in the DA franchise. Handsome, strong, but a mage hater. I do love angst, but he is just a bit too intense to be ranked higher for me. 16. Anders. As I said, I love angst, which was why I was drawn to Anders and romanced him in my first DA2 playthrough. He's funny and he loves cats. What he became as a result of vengeance was tragic, and I'll always have a soft spot for him. 15 is arguably the fan favorite Qunari of the franchise, Iron Bull. Big, tough, sexy, cares for the people in his company, and can become a Talvishoth. Respect. 14. Isabella. A sexy, sassy pirate with maybe not the greatest morals, but is too damn likable to not forgive. I absolutely have a lady crush on her, but I have yet to actually romance her. A tragedy that I plan to rectify at some point. Next up at 13 is Wen, the wise, caring grandma of the group. I adore her. She's like a comfort character. I always enjoy her conversations. She's who I want to be when I grow up. 12. Cullen. Probably the most vanilla romance, but I enjoy it. He's one of the types I would go for in real life, so naturally he's going to be up there on this list. If he weren't a Templar that's made many bad decisions, he'd probably be higher on the list, even if he has realized his mistakes. At number 11, we have probably everyone's favorite redhead, Leliana. Bard turned Chantry sister turned spy master, a multi-talented badass who loves fancy shoes. But I will admit she's a bit all over the place with her idealistic viewpoints, not exactly matching up with her harsh and murderous actions. We've made it to the top 10, everyone. In 10th place, we have Zevron, our charming, hypersexual assassin with a love for leather. He may seem like a one-dimensional character, but as you get to know him, you start to learn more about his shit upbringing and the true reason for accepting his mission to assassinate the warden. A bit of angst plus sexy fun times equals my kind of trope. Number 9, Sarah, an often hated character. How did she make it to my top 10? Because I love her childish humor. She doesn't take herself seriously, and I find that to be a breath of fresh air. But honestly, in reality, I doubt I could stand to be around her for long periods of time. So yeah, she can be pretty immature, but who the hell is perfect anyways? 8, Varric. He feels like a friend you've known for years, someone you can rely on when shit gets real. Also, he's charming, witty, and a great storyteller. Just don't rely on his stories always being truthful. Right behind Varric, at number 7, we've got Cassandra. I love everything about her, the good and the bad. A strong female warrior who's brash but is trying to improve herself, has slain a dragon, is stubborn but not unyielding, with a soft spot and a secret love for romance novels. If you can't tell, I have a lot of admiration for Cassandra. Number 6. Next up is Cole, number 1 ghost boy. His character and capabilities are interesting in and of itself, being a spirit that's manifested itself as an actual person in the real world. This makes him fascinating and mysterious. Plus, he's adorable, sort of like a lost little puppy. I just really hope he doesn't ghost us in the next game. And now for our top 5 finalists. At number 5, we have Meryl. Her naivety makes her absolutely adorable. If you've ever seen Red vs. Blue, she reminds me of a lot of Caboose, and he's my favorite character. Unfortunately, I feel like she can be a bit too naive and misguided at times, but we love her for it anyways. Number 4, Dorian. A true, steadfast friend and ally, charismatic, fun, and flirty. The Inquisitor and him bond more than I think most of the companions can, aside from romances. Getting involved in such personal matters like family and supporting him against his father tends to do that. Only a monster could hate, even just dislike Dorian. Number 3, Morrigan. Sexy, mysterious, witty, snarky, intelligent, powerful. Sure, there are some things you could dislike about her, but I mean, come on. Nothing outweighs how intriguing she is. It's like she's a hex girl that's cast a spell on me. Plus, the banter between her and other companions is often hysterical, especially between her and our first place runner-up. Speaking of which, our second place winner is the man, the legend, our King Alistair. Wait, hold up. How is he not in first place, you're wondering? We'll get to that. Alistair is, well, Alistair. Need I say more? Okay. He's funny, goofy, sweetheart, and my first Origins romance. How could you not like him? Yeah, he's often childish, but when push comes to shove, he can step up to the plate. He will forever have a place in my heart. Alright, number 1. I know this is going to be controversial, but if you've been paying any attention, you already knew who I was going to say. At number 1, we have the ultimate angst lord of them all, Solas. There are certain traits that I find attractive, and he checks off a lot of boxes. Intelligent, philosophical, passionate, open-minded, although that can be a bit difficult for him, but he can be persuaded. Charming when he wants to be, stands up to injustice, which I find wildly attractive, and is a bit of a dork. He has his flaws, but so do literally all of these characters, and everyone in real life. He's probably my favorite, or maybe close second favorite character ever, out of any franchise. Obito Uchiha would be the other one. And they actually have a lot of similarities, so it makes sense. I love a morally gray, or downright evil character with a tragic backstory, who believes that what they're doing is truly the right thing, but can change their minds if shown that life, or reality, still has value. Ultimately, Solas is such a complex, fascinating character that tops all others in the Dragon Age franchise. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this, please give this a thumbs up and subscribe. That'll let me know that you want to see more videos like this. Also, friendly reminder that this was all in good fun. Don't take it too seriously, and be kind to one another. Have a magical day.
For you. The stew is bubbling, Mother dear. Shall we have 2 guests for the eve, or none?
The Grey Wardens are leaving shortly, girl. And you will be joining them.
Such a shame. What?